Afternoon, hello.
Hi. I'm just going to go straight in and ask. I bet it's been dominating your thoughts, hasn't it, for the last few days anyway. VAR, you've, since we've spoken to you, had an explanation and an apology. Did it make it any better?
Yeah, we ended the game after analysing all the evidence that we had on the images with a huge anger and disappointment. Because that wasn't a human error, that was a big not conceiving and understanding your job, and that's not acceptable. I'm sorry, and that cost Arsenal 2 points, and that's not going to be restored. So we're going to have to find those 2 points somewhere else in the league. But at the same time, we appreciate the apology, we appreciate the explanations, which were really open, to be fair. And we got a lot of sympathy from a lot of colleagues in the industry, in football, that they are talking that we cannot play with the integrity of the game in the way that we do. And that's it, and we have to move on. That certainly has made the players, the staff, and our fans even stronger and with more desire to pass this hurdle that they put on us. So we are ready for it.
I know you want to move on from that incident, but are you satisfied, having spoken to them, that it won't happen again?
I will be only satisfied if they give me the 2 points back, which is not going to be the case. I appreciate, and I think they were really sincere, open and genuine apologies and explanation, which is really good. But it doesn't take the fact that we have 2 less points that we should have on the table.
And the fact that you work hard to do your job, your players work hard to get their jobs right, and yet somebody else doesn't do their job right, that can't be right, can it?
No, but I think, listen, everybody makes errors and mistakes, and we are part of that. Me, the first one, for sure, in our job, but that was something else, and that's where I wasn't having it, the club wasn't having it, and I think it's clear, the consequences of what happened.
Just one more on this, because it was a horrible weekend for not just yourself. Other teams suffered at the hands of VAR as well. Do you think it's fit for purpose at the moment?
When I see the reaction, for example, that Howard Webb had and the PGMO and the Premier League had, and again, how genuine it was, that that anger, and as well, they want to do the best as they can, and they know the standards and everything that is at stake. I think at the end it will help, and hopefully we can use that to make the game better and have more integrity on it, have better professionals, and really pay attention to detail that matters, because at the end of the day it has a significant output on results.
And for you and your players, you talk about having to gain those 2 points back. I imagine if you use it as a bit of a galvanising effect this week ahead of what's obviously a huge game for you.
That was the reaction straight away from everybody. We cannot do anything about it, and don't use it as an excuse. Try to move on, face it, and go for it. That's it.
And in terms of tomorrow, who have you got available? How fitness-wise are you looking? Who's in, who's out?
Everybody available that we had from the previous game so far, unless something strange happens today in that bed, and looking forward to it.
And just one more on the game tomorrow. It's been a difficult, maybe you set such high standards early on in the season that you haven't hit those very high highs maybe in the last few weeks. You've stuck with a lot of your players sort of week in, week out. I think you made fewer changes than anybody else. How close is someone like maybe Trossard to pushing a starting place? Has done well for you since he arrived. How much in your mind is the fact that there has been a draw and a defeat, and then you haven't kind of found that swagger that you maybe had a few weeks ago?
Well, at the end, that's more determined on results, but for us it's more about the performances, and as well what players has given us to take us to the position that we are in today as well, and they deserve opportunities. Obviously we are looking to move players and give players opportunities that they deserve, and you talked about Leo, but we talk about anybody has had minutes in this league, and it will be changes, and it will happen, and very soon.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mikel, how are you? What's the mood been like in training this week? Is there a different feeling when you know that a game of this magnitude is on the horizon?
a great energy. I sense it since I arrived. After the Brentford game, from the staff, from everywhere at the club, it was that mixture between anger and desire to play the next game. So we need to use that for tomorrow.
What do you consider the biggest threat in this City side?
Them as a team, you know, what they have done in the last 6 years. They absolutely merit it. They merit it on the pitch, and the way they play, the way they have competed, the way they have gone through difficulties. And for us, the challenge is to get to that level, you know, and we need to use that challenge and that energy to, this is what we want to be, and this is the level, and we are heading towards it.
Having never beaten Pep in the league, what would a win mean to you tomorrow?
For me, it's the team, the club, and where we are. Me personally, is beating one manager. Is not about that. It's about beating the next opponent, and in this case, is Man City.
And just finally, what are you expecting from the home crowd at the Emirates tomorrow, and how much are they going to help you?
That we play with 15 players tomorrow. That they are so into it in every single ball and giving us energy, support, and basically what they've been doing. And let's enjoy a beautiful night in a really special day.
Thanks, Mikel.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bradley.
Hi Mikel,
Hi.
hope you're well. They say sometimes you can learn more about your team in adversity. What have you learned about your team over the last couple of weeks in terms of results not quite going?
We have a few moments in the past as well. We have learned a lot, especially the people that we have in the team and the type of characters that they are, how much they care about their profession and how close they are to each other, and how clear is the ambition and the purpose of what we do every single day to win.
Could this game work in your favour in a little way, because you've had teams like Brentford and Everton over the past couple of weeks who have come to frustrate and put men behind the ball, be difficult to break down. Obviously City aren't going to be like that, they're going to play their own game. Could that work in your favour in a little way?
I hope so. Obviously they have totally different qualities and game styles, but every team faces difficult challenges.
You spoke about Pep a lot a few weeks ago in the FA Cup game, and you said you didn't really want to come up against him in the title race if you had the choice. What's it going to be like coming up against him on the touchline? Is it mixed emotions? Because I suppose you want him to do well, but you want to win for Arsenal at the end of the day as well.
I want to win tomorrow.
And lastly, I know you've had 51 points from 63 games, 63 points. It's incredible consistency. Did you ever think you'd be in this position come the start of the season?
If you tell me at the start of the season, probably I would doubt, I would hope, but I would be doubtful. But this is where we are. We earn it, and now we have to move every single day to try to improve what we do.
That's nothing.
Thank you.
Hi, Mikel. In the World Cup and in Serie A, we see they use semi-automatic offside now. When this is supposed to be the best league in the world, should they not be using the best technology available?
I don't know if that would come. Obviously, there are many discussions around it, but we started the season in a way, and maybe in the summer there will be changes. I don't know what the plans are for that.
And in terms of the human error aspect of it, the punishment, if you like, seems to be that referee then misses a game the following weekend. Do you think that needs to be a harsher punishment for the referees, not just Lee Mason, but for whenever these are judged to be mistakes?
I don't know what it is. It's not for me to judge. This is not about someone makes a mistake and let's just crucify him. You know, it's not about that. It's trying to do the best that we can all together to have a fair sport and make the decision probably simpler or clearer, or the communications better, and hopefully that would help because of what happened last weekend.
I know you didn't want to talk. Excuse me. You don't want to talk about the potential punishments with the breaches for Man City, but from since when they were announced till now, it seems to have really got the fan base together and united around the club, isn't it? Is that a worry that actually that could lead to them being even better and more united as a club?
I don't know what the outcome will be.
Hi Mikel. How much does experience come into play tomorrow? Man City have a lot of experience playing a rival in this type of game at the top of the league.
I don't know. Is that I don't know how much experience we had when we had to play Manchester United at home or Chelsea away or Spurs away. I don't know. It's how good we are tomorrow night, how well we perform. I think that will dictate what happens in the game.
But is it different to those games because it's a title race? You're the two at the top.
Yeah, but at the end it's 3 points. The same 3 points that we have to play against Spurs, the 3 points that we have to play, the 2 points that we lost against Brentford, exactly the same.
Hi Mikel. Just to check, Emile Smith-Rowe and Reece Nelson, will they be available tomorrow, or are they still going to be out?
I will do the list now, so I will make that decision.
And Pep has spoken this season about how maybe some of his players are struggling to find the motivation after success, whereas your players are going into tomorrow's game hungry. For many of them, it's their first sort of title-deciding match. Is that an advantage for your side, do you think, over there?
I don't know. We are comparing two very different things with huge experiences in doing that, and a lot of our players that never done it. But we want to use that energy, that will, and that anger that we have inside to make the most out of it.
Karen?
Mikel, we've always known you were a leader and a student of the game, even as a captain here at Arsenal. But when you went to study under Pep Guardiola, was it a shared passion of tactical flexibility, or did it take it to a whole new level for you?
Well, I was working there. I was studying a lot, but I was working there, and it was an incredible experience in the personal and professional level to be with him, but with all the coaching staff and staff that was and the players that they were at the time. And like every experience, it made me a better person, a better player for sure, a better coach for sure, and you use those experiences for your own career after.
I was just speaking to Jorginho, and he said no week is ever the same, and you remind him of Sarri because you reinvent every week and every game plan. So what's it like to hear some people say that they believe they've got Arsenal figured out?
I don't know. Well, every